cutting shouldn't bother you, I don't think. I was trying to get something more dynamic, so that you wouldn't just looking at my face and or just looking at a blank room. This is time for the idiom of the day, and I think today is going to be a twofer, but we'll see how that goes. Twofer, of course, means 2 for 1. You can get 2 idioms today. The first idiom is going to be underdog. Lulu Alsher asked me about what does underdog mean, and this was a while ago because this is like the first page. So an underdog is the person you don't expect in a competition to win. The likely loser of the competition is the underdog. And but sometimes underdogs will surprise you, and underdogs will win. And the term comes from the 1800s. 1887, I think, was the exact date, and I didn't find a use case for it, but it was actually from dogfighting. That they would actually, I guess some people still do that, and they shouldn't. I'm not a fan of dogfighting. If you want to know my position on dogfighting, I'm against it. But they would have dogs fight each other, and the dog that has been losing mostly and is likely to lose again is considered the underdog of the fight. And I think in boxing they do have terms. This ties in with boxing. They have a term called an undercard. That's kind of the lower level of the fights. So underdog is the dog most likely, or the person most likely to lose. This art thing that I'm doing here, it's a poster for a book or short story we read in class a couple days ago called Amigo Brothers by P.D. Thomas. And it's really, I've always liked that story very much. And I'm doing a cover and poster project thing. I like to do little projects. Hopefully, if I can get this done today, I'll show you the final product at the end, or the close to final product. So, idiom number 1, underdog. Idiom number 2, this is the twofer, to take the lead. And to take the lead, the term lead, in terms of being ahead of somebody, the one in charge. Yeah, I don't see it now. To take the lead comes from the 1500s. To be in charge, be the one ahead of everything. And so if someone says, I'm going to ask you to take the lead on this one, it means that I'm going to ask you to be in charge. You're going to be the one in front, basically, in charge of what's going on. Let me glue this, and then we'll pause this, and hopefully I'll show you the finished product later on. My medium is glue, construction paper, lamination, although I will not show you the laminated part because I am not in the mood to do lamination right now. There you go, that's part 1. All makes sense now, doesn't it? Okay, check back later. We'll see what we've got. And now, the exciting epilogue. There you go. That's what I ended up producing from all that paper cutting yesterday. And I had it done by the first period of class, the second period really. And I had 2 people during the day tell me, is that Muhammad Ali? Which I wasn't trying to make it Muhammad Ali, but I did take the picture. I liked the picture, and it was Muhammad Ali from the picture. And so I did a little bit too good of a job, I guess, because I wanted it to not be so representational. But anyway, I still like it. So there's that. And now let's do one more idiom. This idiom comes from, it's first used idiomatically in the 1920s. So fairly recent. This idiom is jump the gun. What does it mean to jump the gun, you ask? To jump the gun is to start something before you are fully prepared to start it. To go in and do something without realizing all of the little details. Jump the gun, what is the etymology of this? Well, actually, let's use an example first. What's an example first? Bill jumped the gun when he bought the chicken before talking to Mary. She had changed the menu to steak and told him he needed to check with her first. Jumped the gun. So again, I say this comes from the 1920s, And or at least that's one of the early recorded uses of it as a idiom. But it comes from track and field. So they have the races, they all line up, they're getting ready to run. Ready, set. You're supposed to run when the gun fires, but some less than reputable runners knew that the gun would come after set, and usually immediately after it. Ready, set. So they would go ready, set, they would start running. They would run before the gun. They would jump the gun. And in the early days, there was no big penalty for that. If you jump the gun, you're going before it's time to really go. This is how it was used in the 1920s. This was talking about pig farming, because, if you're going to use jump the gun idiomatically, why not talk about pig farming? Victor really jumped the gun. Oh, actually, this is a different example. I'm giving you extras. Victor really jumped the gun with his project proposal. He should have waited until the other proposal was accepted or rejected. This was from Ginger. It's a website, gingersoftware.com. And the other one, here we go. Here's the 1921 issue of the Iowa Homestead. Give the pigs a good start. Jump the gun, so to speak, and get them on a grain ration before weaning time. So do something before it seems like it's necessary to do it. And they're using a positive version of jump the gun. Usually jump the gun is used kind of negatively. I personally think that it should be used more positively. My feeling on jumping the gun is sometimes you just need to jump the gun and do something before you know all of the ramifications. At least if you have my kind of personality. I think that I do better when I go into things not fully prepared, because I think I tend to want to over prepare for something. And so jump the gun occasionally, try to figure out what's going on. But know that you're jumping the gun and know that there will be problems. I'm泰山老师. Like, subscribe, please. 再见。